Around playoffs last year, this tweet managed to get 3 million views. On the left, you have the 2025 MVP, and on the right is the Dallas Mavs' Luka Doncic, scoring 33.9 points, 9.8 assists, and 9.2 rebounds. But looking at these two players statistically back-to-back, from a numerical standpoint, Luka should have had the stats to win an MVP. However, since then, SGA has won a championship, finals MVP, and broke Wilt's record, and he could potentially go back-to-back. Then there's Luka with the hammy, but putting up 33.5 points per game, better numbers than last year. And the debate has been the same. Luka's stats are better, and SGA only wins because of his team. So I took it upon myself to pull the receipts, and we're going to settle this. Who's the better player and deserves MVP, and most importantly, who's the bigger flop artist? So SGA managed to pass Wilt Chamberlain 127 consecutive scoring nights with 20 plus. Wilt had 126, a record that stood since 1963. If you look at the gap between number 1 and number 3, SGA's at 127, and Wilt's second streak is at 92. Nobody else has even hit 80. MJ never did it, LeBron never did it, and neither did Kobe. On the other hand, Luka has higher single-game scoring nights, but this record isn't about peaks. It's about never having a night off for a year and a half straight. The Thunder went 103-24 during this streak. That's an 82 win pace, and you know what MVP voters care about? A guy you can count on every single game. And here's something that doesn't get stated is that he broke Wilt's record on 35 points and 4 free throw attempts. Not 10, not 15, but 4, and against one of the best defenses in the league. So yeah, Luka scores more, but let's look at how they score. Here's this season side by side. Luka wins the top 3 rows, 33.5 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 8.3 assists. Those are the stats that show up on SportsCenter. But here's what doesn't get talked about enough. The 55% field goal percentage. That's not just good for a guard, that's elite for anybody. Only 5 players in the entire league shot better than 55% this season, and SGA is one of them. On the other hand, Luka's at 47%. And that 8-point gap in field goal percentage, well, that's the difference between being a volume scorer and being an efficient scorer. Every time SGA shoots, he's given the Thunder a better chance to score than Luka gives the Lakers. Now, true shooting accounts for threes and free throws, and it's supposed to even things out. Luka's a good 3-point shooter and gets to the line a ton, and somehow SGA still beats him 64% to 61, which means even if you want to give Luka credit for the volume, SGA is still more efficient. And you have to compare this: 73 games played compared to Luka's 64. 1 game short of the 65 game rule. What a nut buster. And SGA played 73. Availability does matter in this game. Then there's the team's record, .78 versus .64. Doesn't seem like a lot, but the difference over 82 games, 11 wins, which also turns into the difference between the 1st seed and the 5th seed in the playoffs. And that's just not a team stat, but a side effect of your best player playing 73 games at 64% true shooting. So if SGA is more efficient, plays more games, and wins more, what argument do people have for Luka to be MVP? This is every MVP winner from the last 20 years. Points per game on the y-axis and team win percentage on the x-axis. Every blue dot is an MVP. Now look at where they cluster. High scoring and high wins. That's not random, that's the pattern. SGA in 2025, yellow dot, 32.7 points, .829 win percentage, scoring champion, and best record in the league. Now that red dot is where Luka would be if he won this year. 33.5 points with .646 win percentage. And that's not quite to that 700 mark where we see the biggest cluster of MVPs. See that gray dot over there by itself? Russell Westbrook in 2017. 31.6 points and .573 win percentage, 47-35 record and a 6th seed. One of the more controversial MVPs in modern history because, you know, Mr. Triple-Double. He was the first MVP from a team with fewer than 50 wins since Moses Malone in 1982. Voters were mesmerized by the Triple-Double season. But you know who they voted against? James Harden. 29 points, 11 assists, and 55 wins. Bill Simmons, who votes for MVP, is quoted for saying this in 2017. It's 47 wins in the 17th ranked offense versus 55 wins in the 2nd ranked offense. What are we arguing about? And I believe that voters learned from this little mishap. Look at every MVP since 2017. Giannis back-to-back, both times top 2 seed. Jokic 3 times, always top 2 seed. Embiid 1 seed. And Curry in 2016 with 73 wins. The Westbrook MVP broke the pattern. Everyone since has followed it again. So we have to face the music that Luka's numbers are comparable to Westbrook's, and especially when it comes to win percentage. And if that one was as controversial as it was, do you think voters want to make that same mistake again? Now here's the part that's going to make people mad. Let's talk about foul baiting. By far the biggest knock and the most controversial thing about SGA's game is that he's a quote-unquote foul baiter. But let's look at the actual numbers. This is the personal fouls drawn, PFD. Not free throw attempts, not and ones, just how many times did the ref blow the whistle because you got fouled. Luka, 464 total PFD this season, number 1 in the entire league. SGA has 415, number 6. Per game, Luka draws 7.25 fouls and SGA draws 5.68. So in reality, Luka draws 1.57 more fouls per game than SGA. Remember when Jaylen Brown called out SGA's foul baiting after the Celtics lost to OKC in March? He said, "That's not basketball." You know how many free throws Jaylen shot that night? 14. SGA shot 8. And all 14 of SGA's fourth quarter points came from the field. 0 free throws. Even Lakers coach JJ Redick has defended this play style, saying, quote, "Drawing fouls is a skill. Most elite scorers have been able to get to the line. It just happens to have a montage video on Twitter now." Here's what's actually happening. SGA, as much as it drives some people crazy, uses deceleration, pump fakes, and his signature move, the arm hook. He extends his arms, baits the defender, then hooks it for the whistle. He plays 2 contact hunting for it, and it looks like manipulation because it is. Whereas Luka bulldozes through contact, and it looks more physical, but they both get the same result, and that's heading to the free throw lines. But only one gets destroyed for it, and why? Because perception is about style, not stats. SGA's deceleration and pump fakes look like he's gaming the system. Luka bulldozing looks like he's earning it, but only SGA gets called a foul merchant. Andre Iguodala said it perfectly. They call Shai a foul baiter, but one thing I know about Shai is, if he don't get the call, can he still get a bucket? He's proven that to me. And let's face it, Luka's entire possession often grinds to a halt when he doesn't hear a whistle. Arms out, scowling at the refs, leaving his team playing 4-on-5 while the other team scores. Zach Lowe even called it unwatchable. Luka complaining on every possession instead of getting back on defense. The night SGA broke Wilt's record, 35 points against the best defense in the league, he attempted 4 free throws, not 10, 4. Meanwhile, Luka averages close to 10 all season, on a slower, less explosive, more deliberate game. Luka isn't just hunting fouls, he's relying on them in ways SGA isn't. Both of them hunt fouls, and statistically, Luka does it more. The data proves it. But perception isn't about data, it's about style. But if you're going to criticize one, you better criticize both. And speaking of bending the rules, I broke down some of the craziest NBA finds, and some of these will blow your mind.